Okay, today we're going to talk about what I call stair-step problems. That is not a formal name by any way, shape, or form. These are technically just complex, rational expressions again, but I call them stair-step problems because they look like stair steps. So the biggest thing is that we need to simplify this thing, and the hardest part of this is knowing what to attack first. Well, the important thing to remember is that this is 1 plus this whole big thing. So if we want to add these two together, we have to have common denominators. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to make this my common denominator. So we're not going to start with that one. We're going to leave him for very last. So we're going to start down here at the bottom instead and clean up what we can. Now, these problems, it's very easy to get lost where you are. So what I do when I'm working these problems is I start off and I circle the part that I'm going to work on. And then I go out to the side and I write that down. So in this problem, if I want to add these two together, right now this is 1 over 1 plus 1 over 1 plus x. And in order to add rational expressions, I have to have common denominators. I can't just add an x on here. That's not allowed. To make common denominators, you have to multiply. So that means I'm going to multiply this guy by 1 plus x over 1 plus x. So when I do that, I get 1 plus x over 1 plus x. If I had to multiply this one by anything, it would just be that 1, and that's not going to do anything, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Then to add, I go ahead and keep my denominator the same, and I combine like terms in the numerator. So now I have this. Then what I do, until I get the hang of this, I would strongly suggest that you go ahead and rewrite your problem. So that's all of my problem except the circle, right? That looks exactly the same. Then in the place of the circle, I put this. So I have 2 plus x over 1 plus x. Now, again, if I try to add this to this, again, who wants that to be your common denominator? Not me. So I don't want to attack that yet. So I'm going to attack this part next. So what does this really say? This says 1 divided by 2 plus x over 1 plus x. And how do we do division? Well, we just take the reciprocal of the second one and then we multiply. And since we're multiplying by 1, it's not even going to change. So we just have 1 plus x over 2 plus x. So that's the answer to this circle. So again, rewrite your problem. 1 plus 1 over 1 plus, put this in the place of the circle. 1 plus x over 2 plus x. So now I need to clean this up. So go over here to the side, write it down. Right now this is over 1. In order to add, I have to have common denominators. So I'm going to multiply this guy by 2 plus x, this guy by 2 plus x. So I have 2 plus x over 2 plus x plus 1 plus x over 2 plus x. When I combine like terms, that gives me 3 plus 2x over 2 plus x. That's the answer to my circle. So rewrite the problem again. 1 plus 1 over 3 plus 2x, 2 plus x. Again, can't add yet because that's an ugly denominator. So let's clean this guy up first. Once you get the hang of this, you're going to do it much faster. Because you're going to say, okay, I'm doing 1 divided by this thing. What really happens there? Well, this guy flips over, but then I'm multiplying it by 1. So do I really even need to write that step? Probably not. Once you get the hang of it. You just are going to realize quickly that, oh, that's just going to flip over and multiply by 1. So this is the answer to my circle. Rewrite your problem one last time. And now I'm ready to add these two together. So make my common denominator again. 3 plus 2x, 3 plus 2x. So I get 3 plus 2x over 3 plus 2x plus 2 plus x over 3 plus 2x. So that gives me 5 plus 3x over 3 plus 2x. And that's all there is for that one. Ha ha, that was really quick, right? Okay, so now we're going to try another one. Now, I'll warn you on this one. You have to be very careful of your negatives because negatives tend to get lost. So be very, very careful when you're doing this kind of problem that you watch those negative signs. So again, don't want to subtract this from here yet because this would be an ugly common denominator. So I want to start down here to clean that up. So hopefully we're getting the hang of this now. So instead of going over here and rewriting this again, I'm just going to say, okay, my common denominator needs to be x plus 1. So I'm just going to make this x plus 1 over x plus 1 minus 2 over x plus 1. So when I combine my like terms on the top, x minus 1 over x plus 1, because 1 and negative 2 makes negative 1. Rewrite my problem, 2 minus 1 over x minus 1 over x plus 1, because that goes in the place of the circle. Not ready to subtract yet, because that would be an ugly common denominator. So let's go ahead and do the division. Again, hopefully we're catching on here. We realize that it's 1 divided by this, so I flip the second, oh, I messed up here. This is a minus. So I flip this one over, x plus 1 over x minus 1, and when you multiply by 1, nothing changes. So you just have that. So now all I have left is this. Make my common denominator again. Right now that's over 1. So my common denominator is going to be x minus 1, x minus 1. But remember, when I'm adding and subtracting rationals, I actually have to multiply that in there so that I can go ahead and combine like terms. So I would get 2x minus 2 over x minus 1. And then here, again, like I said, you have to watch these minuses. So that's going to end up being negative x minus 1 in that numerator. So then when we combine like terms, we get x minus 3 over x minus 1. 2x minus x is 1x, negative 2 minus 1, negative 3. There's nothing left because right now I was working on this whole thing, so that's my answer. Okay, one for you to try. So you can write that one down, give it a try. Hopefully, if you're lucky or good, you end up with this answer.